Hello class 6 students, how are you all? I just hope that you all are safe at your places and you all must be studying at home. Now students, as you all know that your first term examination is going to start very soon. So I just hope that you all are preparing for your examination. Kindly complete all your pending assignments and send it to me, okay? And let's continue chapter number 2, elements, compounds and mixtures. Now students, today we are going to discuss about mixtures. What are mixtures? Earlier I told you about what are elements, what are compounds. Today I'm going to tell you about mixture. The definition of a mixture is that mixture is an impure substance, while elements and compounds, they are pure substances. Mixture is an impure substance as it is made up of more than two elements or compounds. Elements and or compounds in a mixture, they are not chemically bonded, okay, unlike elements or compounds. The components in elements or compounds, they are chemically bonded, okay, and we cannot separate them with by physical method. But in mixtures, components, elements or compounds, they are mechanically bonded, okay, and we can separate them by using physical methods, okay. Now let us read the definition of mixture here. A mixture is an impure substance made up of two or more elements or compounds mechanically mixed together in any proportion, okay. So here the proportion is also different, okay. They do not have fixed proportion. They can be mixed in any proportion. Mechanically means that they are not chemically bonded, okay, unlike elements or compounds. Now examples of mixtures are air, okay. What is air? What is there around us? Air. Air is a mixture of gases. There are many gases in the air, so it is a mixture of gases. Milk. Milk is also an example of mixture. Petrol, okay. Now salt solution. When we mix a spoonful of salt into water and when we mix it together, then salt solution is formed. So the solution is an example of mixture, okay. Now we are going to discuss about how different types of mixtures they are formed. First, let us discuss about the example of elements, of two elements, okay. When an element is mixed with other element, then it forms a mixture. When a compound is mixed with another compound, then it forms a mixture, okay. So let us see the examples here of mixture. The first one is of two elements. When one element mixes with the second element, then it forms a mixture. How? See here, when element iron mixes with another element sulfur, then it forms a mixture of iron and sulfur. And the mixture of iron and sulfur can be separated by physical method, okay. Now second is of two compounds. When one compound mixes with the other compound, then it forms a mixture of two compounds, okay. So here the example is sodium chloride, which is common salt with water. Now water is a compound, okay. So sodium chloride is common salt. When sodium chloride is mixed with water, then what it forms? It forms salt solution. And what is salt solution? It is a mixture, okay. Now see here, it can also be separated by using different types of methods, okay, that we are going to discuss later on, okay. Now, so this is how mixtures they are formed. Now students, let us study about the characteristics of mixtures, okay. So the first characteristic is that components in a mixture are present in varying proportion. That means their proportion, the proportion of components in a mixture are different. That means if I add iron with sulfur, and if I add them and I make a mixture of iron and sulfur, then the proportion of iron can be more than sulfur, or the proportion of sulfur can be more than iron. I'll give you one more example. Suppose if I add salt in water, that means NaCl, sodium chloride is common salt. If I add salt in water, H2O, then the proportion of salt can be more than water, or the proportion of water can be more than salt, okay. So their proportion is not fixed. It can vary, it can change. So the mixture which is formed by salt and water can have components with varying proportion. Okay. Now the second characteristic is that mixtures have no definite set of properties. Okay. Now unlike elements and compounds, elements and compounds, they have definite set of properties. For example, H2O. H2O is a compound. Okay. Now H2O is formed by mixing hydrogen with oxygen. Okay. Hydrogen has its own property. Oxygen has its own property. And when it gets mixed and when it forms H2O, which is water, then the properties of hydrogen and oxygen is not retained in the mixture. That means is not retained in the H2O. Okay. But in case of mixtures, the properties of components, for example, if iron and sulfur, they get mixed and they form a mixture, then the properties of iron and sulfur can be retained in the mixture. That means then iron will have its own property and sulfur will have its own property. That means they will continue to have their own properties in the mixture. But in case of compounds and elements, components, they will not retain their properties in the product. For example, H2O. Okay. Now comes the third one, which is components in a mixture can be separated by physical methods. Okay. Now components, they can be separated by physical methods and mixtures, because in mixtures, components, they are not chemically bonded. Okay. So we can easily separate them using physical methods. Okay. For example, iron and sulfur mixture, in the mixture of iron and sulfur, iron can be separated from sulfur using magnets. Okay. Because iron is attracted to magnets. Sulfur, since it is non-magnetic, so it will not get attracted to magnet, but iron, it is magnetic, so it will get attracted to magnet. So we can easily separate iron from sulfur using magnets. Okay. By using physical method. So these are the characteristics of mixtures. Now let us study about the types of mixtures. Okay. Now here we have two types of mixtures, homogeneous mixtures and heterogeneous mixtures. Now what are homogeneous mixtures? Mixtures which have same composition and properties throughout the mixture is known as homogeneous mixtures. Okay. Let me explain this with an example. Alcohol and water. Air. What is air? Air is a mixture of gases. And we cannot see particles or different types of gases in the air. They have same composition. Okay. So they have same composition and properties throughout the mixture. That means we cannot see particles or different particles in the mixture. Then that mixture is known as homogeneous mixtures. For example, air. For example, salt in water. For example, alcohol in water. Okay. So one more property of homogeneous mixture is that the components, they get easily mixed. Okay. They get mixed very easily. So we cannot see the particles or the different particles in the mixtures. The composition remains same throughout the mixture. The second one is heterogeneous mixture. Now in heterogeneous mixtures, the composition and properties, they remain different throughout the mixture. Okay. Here, now heterogeneous mixtures are the mixtures which have different composition and properties throughout the mixture. Okay. And one more thing is that heterogeneous mixtures, they do not get mixed with each other. Okay. The components, they do not get mixed with each other. For example, oil in water, chalk in water. Okay. So these are the examples of heterogeneous mixtures.
Now students, just now I told you that we can separate mixtures by using
physical methods. Okay, so there are different types of methods that we can use for separating mixtures, and there are different types of mixtures for which different types of physical methods are used. So here you can see the first one is solid mixtures. So for solid mixtures there are three types of methods. Now the first one is sieving. Okay, what is it? Sieving. The second one is magnetic separation. Okay, and the third one is sublimation. Now I'm going to tell you what are these methods separately. Okay, then for separating solid liquid mixtures we have three methods. What are they? Sedimentation, filtration and evaporation. Now students, here you can see separately I'm telling you about the different methods that are used to separate mixtures. Okay, the first is solid mixtures. So here the first one is sieving. Now the principle involved is based on the difference in size of the solid particles. Here small sized particles, they are separated from the large sized particles using a sieve. Now what is sieve? Sieve is the wooden frame with a metal mesh at its base, and it looks like this. Have you seen chhanni at your home? That is called sieve. And what that sieve is used? It is used at home for the separation of bran and wheat flour. Okay, so large bran particles, they stay above, and smaller flour particles, they remain below. Okay, so or they comes out through the sieve and collected below. Then sieve, it is also used by builders for separating particles of sand. Okay, you must have seen this in the construction site. It is used to separate particles of sand. Coarse sand stays above and the fine sand goes below. Okay, then the examples are rice bran and here sand particles. Okay, so this is how sieve is used for separating small size particles from large size particles. Okay, then comes magnetic separation. Now magnetic separation, in this method magnets, they are used. Okay, by using magnet we can separate mixture by using magnets. Okay, here iron and sulfur mixture is taken here. This is iron sulfur mixture, and by using magnet we can separate iron from sulfur. Iron being magnetic, it will be attracted towards the magnet, and sulfur is non-magnetic, so it remains behind. Okay, so this is how we can separate iron from sulfur. Then now remember students that while writing this in activity file, you have to write principle like this, then technique of separation, and then example. Okay, this is how you'll be writing this in activity file. Now this is sublimation. Okay, sublimation is used to separate sublimable from non-sublimable solids. Okay, now here what happens that sublimable substances are those substances that can change directly into vapor state. Okay, from solid state it changes directly into vapor state. Now here the principle is based on the difference in sublimable and non-sublimable nature of solids, and technique of separation is that the mixture is heated in an evaporating dish. This is an evaporating dish. Okay, and which is covered with a funnel, and the funnel is plugged with a cotton. Okay, at one end. And then sublimable solid, just now I told you that sublimable solid are the solids that changes directly into vapor state. It remains on the inner side of the funnel. Okay, and non-sublimable, it remains behind in the evaporating dish here. So sublimable changes into vapor state, and here they are collected here inside the funnel, and non-sublimable remains behind in the evaporating dish here. So this is how we can separate sublimable and non-sublimable solids by using sublimation. Then comes filtration. Now filtration method is used to filter insoluble solid particles. Now here is a filter paper. Okay, and it is folded here like this to make a cone, and this is how filter paper is used. Now filter paper is placed in a funnel here like this. First filter paper is it is made into a cone, and then it is placed in a funnel, and then solid particles, what happens when the mixture is poured into the funnel, then the solid particles, they remain behind on the filter paper, and the liquid particles, they are collected below. Okay, this is how filtration is used. Now students, then comes sedimentation and decantation. Now here this is used for separating solid liquid mixtures, and here you can see that this is a solid liquid mixture, and it is the mixture is kept aside for a few minutes or for few hours, and the insoluble impurities, it starts settling down at the bottom, and then the clear liquid which is above is collected in the other container. Okay, this is how sedimentation and decantation, they are used. Okay, so the insoluble solid component, they settle down on standing in a beaker, and here like this, and the liquid collects above it and is poured out, and the process of pouring out of the liquid such that the solid remains behind is known as decantation. Okay, so here also you have to write principle, technique of separation, and example, and you have to write all these activities in your activity file. Okay, then comes sixth method, which is evaporation. Now this evaporation method, it is used for separating solid liquid mixture, and here we have an example of common salt and water. Okay, and here's a mixture of common salt, and how we can separate common salt from water? By heating it. Okay, by boiling the mixture. Now when mixture is boiled, then the water, it evaporates. Okay, water evaporates on boiling. So water, when it boils, then it evaporates, it changes into vapor state. Okay, and what it leaves behind? It leaves behind common salt at the bottom. Okay, so this is how evaporation method is used to separate solid liquid mixtures.